Hello, musicians. This is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we are helping musicians improve. Thank y'all so much for checking out this video. Now, this video is a continuation of our last video. Uh, and if you haven't seen that, make sure you click up here and watch that. But this video, we're doing a collaboration with Canada Music Lessons, Christine from Canada Music Lessons, where we are taking the hymn I Need Thee from beginner to about intermediate level or so. So this week we're covering how to play the melody with inversions. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. So now I heard that you've been doing inversions. You've been learning about C, C in first inversion, C in second version, um, which is great. And so now let's look at the very first chord of the song. I need. So the first downbeat is need. So the pickup is I need, and then you're on the downbeat. The melody note is E, and we know the chord is C because we've learned the skeleton version. And I think Christine has a sheet music or a lead sheet that outlines what the root of the chord is at that moment. Need. So the melody right there is E. So when I play my C major, I'm going to make sure E is on top. Instead of playing it like this, I could play it like this. I need, but you hear that on top. I need, but I want the melody on top. I need. Right here. Now write this next measure. Hour. So I need thee every hour. What's the melody note? C. So I'm gonna play this one. So I need thee every hour. Now gracious is we're going to the fourth chord, F major, and the melody happens to be C, so I can play F in root position. Now I'm back to C, and the melody is G, so I'm gonna play this. So I want to make sure the melody is on top. Now, when you're playing with in the congregation, when everybody's singing the melody, you can kind of get away with not playing the melody. But what you'll find is if you're singing with like a solo singer or something like that, I might not expressly play the melody constantly. Like I might not do that, but my main chords, I'll make sure the melody at that moment is on top. And there's something that happens when a singer hears they sing what you're playing. It just feels right to them. Now they won't say you're playing the wrong thing if you play the wrong inversion, but when it's right, you're like, yeah, that's right. That's it. It almost so. I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. And forgive me if I forget the words.
Corey, just to confirm, you're playing your pinky is keeping the melody. Is that right on the right hand?
Right. Generally keep the melody in the highest voice, and that's most often played with my right hand pinky. Sometimes you'll see my right hand ring finger get in there, depending on how big or small the chord is. But yeah, it's generally played on top, which is why it's important we started with, because I know the melody. Right, and then once you know the melody, then you can start taking liberties with it and having fun with it, as I love to do. All right, so again, let's go back and try it one more time. I need thee every hour, now the melody is there, and I'm on the 5 chord G, so I can play that root position. And when I'm taking these positions, I'm simply referring to the right hand, because all of these chords we've played so far have been in root position. Now the melody is E, so I'm going to play it like this with the E on top. Now this is an interesting chord right here. It's G over D. So G in second inversion. So this is actually an inverted chord.
I have a question for you about that, Corey. We've been talking about slash chords, but we haven't gotten to the theory of it. So you said that the slash chord, the G over D, is just a G in a different inversion.
Right. Right. Right.
So the left hand is kind of getting in on the inversion fun there. Is that what's happening there?
Exactly. Exactly. So let's look at G, for example. Here's G in root position, G in first inversion, and G in second inversion. But what makes it inverted? It's not what's on top, it's what's on the bottom. So let me show you the left hand. If I kept this G on the bottom and just move my right hand, it's still root position. Why? Because G is on the bottom.
Okay.
If I changed and put B on the bottom, now it's first inversion no matter how I play my right hand. Doesn't matter, it's still first inversion. And if I put the D on the bottom, it's still second inversion, or G over D. Now, what we just did was we mainly focused on playing our chord on beat 1. So we did I need every hour, 2. Now this last G. Now I'm a little low, so I probably should move up. But we have G on top, so I'm gonna make sure I voice that G here. But we've been focused on playing the chord on beat 1. And that's a perfectly good way to do it, especially for beginners. But as you move forward, you might want to try to voice every melody note. And this is something I challenge you to do, is can you play a chord for every melody note? So let's show you how that is. So the melody goes, I need thee every hour. So we're going to harmonize each note of the melody. So we know the first one. Now we don't know this D. I don't know what that is. Well, I do know, but let's just say we don't know what it is. This C is probably C again. We're going to take an educated guess. It's probably C again. And the B, we don't know what it is. And back to C. So probably the E and C, we're probably sure those are C major chords. Now, this D and the B, what could they possibly be? Well, if we think about the key of C major and the chords that go with it, what chord has a B in it? Let's look through. E minor does, G major does, and B diminished does. So it's going to be one of those 3 chords. Those are the only ones in the key that have a B in it. So, and then for D, what chord has a D in it? D minor does, G does, and B diminished. So let's try each one and see what happens. Let's try the D minor for this. Oh, and I kept the melody on top for my D minor chord. And for this B, let's try G major. Oh, that works out. That works out. All right. And actually, so if you're familiar with the hymn right here, this is actually, so the root actually goes goes F, G, C. That's the way the actual song goes. But let's say you didn't know that. Right, you could get to the same sound just by harmonizing the melody. If you play the root for every chord, right? Most great, the gracious gracious Lord. That's what it is. So, ba, be, ba, ba, ba. All right. So that D, we did D minor earlier. So it could be D minor, could be G, it could be B diminished. The D minor worked pretty well, so let's stick with the D minor. Let's try the G. Let's try the B diminished. Let's try to stick with the D minor. And then we have. So I'm assuming this A is part of the F, right? So let's keep the F. And then back to G, which sounds like it's going back to C. So here we go. So now it sounds like the song, like we know, this sounds like I Need Thee Every Hour, right? By simply playing a chord for every melody note. Thank you all so much for checking out this entire video. Now listen, I don't just want you to watch me do it. I want to hear you do it. So send me an audio, video, email, Instagram post, link me in it, tag me in it, YouTube, tag me in it, Facebook. I want to hear you playing this as well and hear your growth as we continue along in this series. All right, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you don't miss the new videos as we release them, because we're releasing them constantly. So make sure you like the video and comment your suggestions below for new videos you would like to see us create. I want to make the videos you want to see. So let me know in the chat what you'd like us to do next. All right, until the next one, be blessed and happy practicing.